Sri Matre Namaha. I wish everyone is happy, heart full of love, heart with gratitude, blessing, and with all this good energy, and all of you are living well and being happy. So today I would like to share a very important guidance, and I hope that this guidance, a very simple guidance, something that everybody can perform, and it will be something very powerful for each one of you, and you can use this guidance to help yourself and also all your ancestors, your Pitrus. It can be your parents, your grandparents, your loved ones. So Mahalaya is coming. This year it's going to be from the September 7th, 2025, and the final day, the dark moon Mahalaya Amavasya, it's going to be on the 21st of September. So what is so special about Mahalaya? There are a lot of details about Mahalaya in the Vedas. Let me simplify for you to understand. That's all you need. Mahalaya is a special duration for us to send blessings, merits to our ancestors. There are few types of ancestors. Some from our far past birth, some from our present birth. We basically cannot know every single person in our generation. Because of that, we may not be able to fulfill and send merit and blessing to everybody from our generation. When you start performing a proper prayers for each of the ancestors. So I'm going to give you a guideline which is very simple, which you can perform by yourself. You don't need anybody to be there, but I'm going to give you the depth of the guideline, so you can use this guideline and you can perform the prayers for the Mahalaya, for your ancestors. Why it is important to do the prayers during Mahalaya, I have in fact explained in my previous videos. So I'm going to explain it in a bit today. Mahalaya is a very important duration for the next 15 days where you can send your merit and blessing. So it's like you can send the blessing to the ancestors you haven't met, you have never met them in the past, many years back, in many generations back. And also ancestors of your past birth. You can send them blessing. The most important is your intention. So basically for a Mahalaya prayer, what should be done is strictly you should perform something called Kala Bhairava Karma and Tilahoma. These two prayers are very important, but you need to find a very proper qualified priest to help you to do these prayers. Do not go to very crowded place and try to conclude this prayer. It will not happen, because these prayers should be in very detailed and specific level of chanting needed for these prayers. This is due to each of the families, each of the individual in the past who is no more. The karma and the density of the karma can be very high. So this generation may have a lot of dense karma. So certain prayers are needed in a different manner. Different types of prayers are needed. and the amount of chanting, the amount of strength that should be given to these prayers can differ from each person. Everybody's karma is not the same. Everybody's weight is not the same. Each of our karma and weight is different. We all carry different baggages when we come here. All of us are carrying those baggages. Please do not forget that. We all carry certain baggages. At the same time, our children, our partners are also carrying those baggages. So when we carry these baggages and karma, we are trying to live with that baggage, with that karma, including with our children. So at times it's very difficult to coordinate, to tolerate, to manage every one of our family members. I do agree with that. So the truth is, every single person in your family, as well as your friends and as well as your relatives, are having baggages that they carry. So we need to be very patient with everyone. We need to handle everybody gracefully, with a lot of patience and calmness. If we can understand the truth that everyone is having this baggage, then we can handle the situation better. So during this period of Mahalaya, as we carry certain baggages, the same way our ancestors also carried certain baggages. Maybe they did not have the chance, opportunity to release all those karmas. So what happens when they don't release all those karmas? Sometimes they get stagnant in the journey. Sometimes they take a different kind of birth, not a very pleasant birth. So this is all there. So what happens to the soul, we cannot determine, but we can do something for the soul. We can send them very strong blessing and merit. But the very authentic way for you to do should be Tilahoma and Kala Bhairava Karma. And it will be a good advice that these prayers should be performed, in a proper place by a proper priest. You are allowed to perform these prayers in your house, in your own house, but the priest should be someone is well versed with the transmigration of the soul. The karma of the soul also is very important to know. Only then you will be able to help yourself as well as your ancestors, because you need to identify the level of their karma and the level of chanting, and the japa and the fire sacrifice homa should be given to that particular karma and puja. So now these are very detailed. You would be staying in a very remote place. You would be staying in a different countries abroad, and you may not be able to access to the right kind of priest with the right kind of knowledge. So what happens to your seva? What happens to your prayers? How can you establish something for your loved ones by yourself during this period? Now I'm going to give you guidance on that. So from the 7th onwards this year, 2025, and until 21st of September, you can do this prayer any one of the days. But you can also do it more than once. You can do it like 3 times, you can do it 5 times in a 15 days duration. You can do it on the 7th, you can do it on the final day on the 21st, or in between you can do one day when you can accommodate your time. So I'm going to give you a guidance which you can do individually, and you can also do it with your family. Number 1, what you can do is that you have to choose a proper Shiva temple, Lord Shiva's temple, where the puja happens in a proper way daily. Daily they have abhishek, daily they have pujas going on. you need to choose such a temple, a very properly established temple, because the energy is very, very important. Configuration of the deity is very important. And the best is, this prayer, you will not be able to perform it in your own house. It's not possible, it's not allowed. The reason, you need certain kind of energy for you to establish this. Since you do not have a priest, so if the priest is there, he could invoke the deities into the kalasa and the prayer can be established. But since you do not have a priest, if you would like to do this by yourself, which is not costly, which does not need much of money, you can do it by yourself. But this prayer, what I am going to give you guidance, it's only temporary. It's not a permanent solution. But for those people who have done Tila Homas, who have done Kala Bhairava Karma, who have done a very proper liberation for their ancestors, those people, yes, you can do this prayer for the next 3 years down the line. After that, you can invite the priest again to your home and get the same prayer done, Tila Homa and Kala Bhairava Karma. But you need to do this, you need to clear everything. Then you can continue this for 3 years or even 4 years. The best should be only 3 years. But for those people who have never done anything for your Pitrus or your ancestors, but you are trying to do something, you can start helping your ancestors and helping yourself with this prayer. And eventually, you can establish the proper clearing and proper establishment for them with the prayer that I have said earlier. So what can you do for the next few years, and for those who cannot get a proper priest? So this is the guideline. The prayer has to be done in the temple. So in the temple, but mainly you need to be there in person. So what you require is, you require 108 leaves of Vilba. Vilba leaves are leaves that is very special to Lord Shiva. You can make it into a garland. The count has to be only 108. You can make it into a garland, mixing with other flowers, yellow or white, no other colors. White would be preferred. Or you can tie it into a long string with these flowers and carry it to the temple. So what you should do, you go earlier, few days earlier to the temple, and request them to do abhishek with milk, rose water for the Lord Shiva deity. And you give the abhishek, and this abhishek should be performed, bathing ceremony is called abhishek, should be performed for the deity. And you can make this arrangement in advance. And you can do it during the 7th to 21st, will be very powerful. That's what is the duration you should practice this. Give the abhishek, and please offer some white clothes such as dhotis to be given, white dhotis to be given to the Lord Shiva. You can also ask the priest. White is the only color that is recommended. You can give white roses. You can give white roses with the Vilba, anything. Or you can give a bouquet arrangement of white flowers. You can carry this and go on the day of the prayer. So you need to give them information and direction for them to do the abhishek, the bathing ceremony for the deity in advance. After that, you go visit once the deity is ready with the abhishek, offer these garlands of flowers of Vilba, and then you need to have a clay lamp, a big clay lamp, not small clay lamp, a big clay lamp, and you need to use gingerly oil. Gingerly oil, and place this light, this lamp, this diya facing the deity. So if the light is facing the deity, you see Shivaling will always face the sharp edge of the Shivaling, that's called the yoni. It will always face the north direction. That's the correct direction it should be placed. So you need to place this diya, this lamp, facing the Lord. So the lamp will be facing the south. Whenever you pray to your ancestors, to your Pitrus, the diya or the lamp that you place must strictly face only the south direction, because the south is for the direction of Yama Dharmaraja, the south. So the light has to face only the south. The diya has to face the south. So place the light towards the south, the lamp, and you sit facing the Lord. When you sit facing the Lord on the ground, not just by yourself, with all your family members together. But if your family members are not attending, you can do it by yourself. So you face the south, sit facing the south. When you look at Lord Shiva, you will be facing the south. At that time, you can do this pratana. You can do this prayer in your heart. You can tell this to Lord Shiva. You can tell him, I, at the moment, so and so, do not have the access and the capacity to bring a priest for the prayer of my Pitrus, my ancestors. So I wish to grant these blessings and this merit for my ancestors. I wish to send this blessing for my ancestors. So please help me to send these blessings to them. So once you sit facing Lord, strictly you need to complete 5 rounds or 5 malas of Panchakshari. I'm going to give the Panchakshari now. Om Namah Shivaya. You need to chant Om Namah Shivaya. 5 malas. Strictly 5 malas. And 1 mala of Gayatri if you know Gayatri. If those who do not know Gayatri, it's all right. You have to complete the 5 malas. Now, in your family, you may have 6 people, or 5 people, or 10 people, or 11 people. So it is going to be like this. 5, each person going to complete 5 malas. Then you can calculate times with how many number of person who's attending the prayer. So all this merit will be sent through Lord Shiva to your ancestors. So you can give the names of your ancestors, those who you know, to the priest and ask him to send blessing in a prayer at the last part of the puja. So through this prayer, let me tell you, definitely your ancestors will receive your merit to them. And it can only be channeled through the deity, through Lord Shiva, not through anyone else. So you need to follow this guidance and you can do this. When you are doing it, do it with your complete surrender, your complete bhakti to Lord Shiva. You are requesting him to help you. Actually, in the world, in the universe, everything can be manifest. But we do not know the direction, and we also do not believe most of the time. We doubt our own prayers. So today you cannot doubt your prayers. You need to be confident. So whatever you are about to do it, it's not just for your ancestors. It is also for you. It is for you. It is to heal your karma with your ancestors, because you can't change the DNA you have. The more you do it, the more it's greater. So you have 15 days. So you can go and perform this 3 times, 2 times, even 5 times if you have the time. So if you can't get 108 Bilba leaf, at least you should be able to get 54. If you cannot get 54, then at least 32. The last number, 32 leaves of Bilba. You need to be very, very truthful in your heart to do this prayer, and you need to be completely connected, and 100% you will receive great blessings. Your ancestors will receive great blessing, and you will receive great merit doing these prayers. Through this, you will be able to help yourself to clear certain dense karma in your life. Please follow this instruction and please bring positiveness into your life. With all my blessing to everyone. Sri Matre Namaha.